Hey everyone, this is Dave Usinger from Training Department at Porta Subs. Today I'm with Spencer Smallwood again from Store 13, and thanks Spencer for joining us. What we're going to do today is look at entering invoices into Optimum Control. So we're going to go through the sign-in process again so you can see that, and Spencer will take us through the basics on entering invoices and then speak about a couple of special situations that you may need clarification on. So here we go, Spencer. Thanks a lot, and let's get going.
All right, so to log in, we're going to go and find our OC icon. It's down at the bottom. It's the plate. We're going to click there. It's going to pop up a screen. And when it's check for updates, of course. All right, and so your username, if it's not already there, is manager. Your password is MGR. And then boom, you're in. All right, and we're going to be doing invoices today, so we're going to go up to, in the top there, we're going to click on invoices. It's going to bring you to this screen. Now to do a US Foods invoice, we're going to go to Invoice Import. We are going to go to Select Supplier right here, this drop down. We're going to click US Foods. Then we are going to click Get Invoices. And it's going to pull our invoices down from US Foods. Now, under most circumstances, it's going to say mismatched total over here. You're going to go and click on that.
On the right-hand side there?
On the right-hand side, yeah. Then there's going to be it's going to tell you why it was mismatched. So it's going to pop up and it'll tell you your totals and tell you the difference. The difference is tax. So we have 148 there. So we're going to hit OK. We are going to go to Taxes and Adjustments tab right here in about the middle. Click on there. Up here in the top, there is a Taxes and Adjustments section. We're going to hit Add. Then we're going to highlight Sales Tax, hit OK. And then we are going to type in the amount that was off. So the 148, you're going to hit enter twice. And then now you have a total here, and you have a total here, and those two totals match. Once those two totals match, you can click Save, and then it's going to update your prices. So it'll give you a quick rundown of what prices were changed, either increased or decreased, and then you're just going to click continue, and it will save it, and then you're done with that invoice. Now the other thing that's most common is that you'll have an invoice that's either very small, that's just a quick addition, or a credit, or maybe you ordered an order without any items that got taxed on it, so the totals match. It'll say that the invoice is valid over here on the right side under status. So what you do in that case is you click the box under import, and then you click process, and then it saves it for you.
Okay, what happens if you get a delivery truck and you refuse a product that's damaged or something? Would that create a difference?
What it does is it creates a credit. So it comes through on your OC as a separate invoice. So you'll have an invoice with the full total, and then you'll have a credit invoice. And so you'll be able to, it'll be separate for you, and you'll just receive that just like that one, just like you would if it's mismatched total. You go in and add the tax. If it's valid, you just click on the import, check, and then hit process.
And then when the credit comes, it'll offset that
It'll
entry.
offset, yep. It'll offset the entry for you.
Okay.
And then, so that's how to do a US Foods invoice. So the other most common situation will be a Coke invoice. So to do a Coke invoice, I'm sorry, I skipped a step here. So to get out of your invoice import, you're going to hit close up here in the top left.
Okay. So I think whenever you change from one function to another, you hit that close.
Yes. Yes, of course. So we're going to close all the way out, get back to our main menu here. So we're going to go back into invoices. And then we're going to have this screen. So the invoices that we received are actually now right here in this calendar. So we have received this invoice, we received this invoice. They're both listed now. So to do a Coke invoice, we're going to go up to New in the top left there. It's going to bring you to this screen. This should look familiar because it's basically the same layout as the US Food invoice. So what you're going to do is, in this, there are two important things. So you have the supplier, and it's highlighted in red, so you're going to click this drop down. And you have all of your possible suppliers. So you're going to find Coca-Cola. And for those with the freestyle, you can notice that there's Coca-Cola freestyle there. This is going to be the same type of process to receive your Coca-Cola freestyle invoice as well. So we're going to be doing the bottles, so that's the Coca-Cola. So then what it does is it populates this list over here to the left, and so you're going to be able to select products from there. So the next step is you need to put in your invoice number. So we're just going to put in, so you would find the invoice number at the top of your
Coke receipt.
Yeah. But for today, we're just going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, just for ease. And then you can type up here in this search bar. So let's say we got bottled soda. So it includes all of your bottled sodas. So you can start typing and see it reduces your list, makes it easier to find your product. So you double click on the product you want, and then you put in the amount of cases you got. So let's go with 3, because we got 3. And then you hit enter, and then that populates, it takes the unit cost, times it by 3, creates your amount, and then you want to verify that that amount is correct. If that amount is not correct, it's probably because your unit cost needs to be changed.
Okay.
Then you can take this opportunity to price check it as well. So we're at 2304. If it was different, you can just click right in here, and then you can change the total. So if it went
2310
to 2310 or whatever, and then it would populate the rest of it and change it for you. And then once you're done with all of your items, you want to make sure that this total right here matches the total on your receipt. If those two match, you come over here to this invoice total right here, and then you type in the total. So 6912, hit enter.
Okay.
And then now this total and this total match. And so now you will be able to save. And that is the completed invoice.
So what happens on the right-hand side where it's at 14 days and due date? Do we ever
We don't mess with
play
those.
with that?
We don't mess with those. I did miss I'm sorry about that. You want to make sure you put the correct invoice date on there. So if you got it on, say it's the 18th, if you got it on the 16th, you want to go ahead and change that to the 16th. To change that
On both sides?
You don't have to do it on both sides.
Okay.
The due date those things are for if you're going to use your OC to track your pay when you need to pay your invoice.
So for a franchisee, that might be more valuable?
That would be more valuable. So if you wanted, so you could use that to track it. So for a franchisee, if you know your bill, you get your invoice and you know it's generally due in 2 weeks, you can leave it exactly like that. It's defaulted as 2 weeks.
It'll change by itself.
Yeah. So if you needed to change it, you could change it.
Okay.
You could go, okay, I know that this bill is due in a week, so you can change that to a week, and then that way it'll kind of help you keep track of when your stuff is due.
Okay. And then would a franchisee have an assigned purchase order number possibly?
No, those are just if you wanted to have a purchase order, or a payout number. If you use that, you could put a check number in there so you know what check number it was. If you wanted to use that, you could also just put that in the comments there as well.
Okay.
But you just click in the to change your invoice date. You just click in the box, type in the correct date. That way it shows up in the right week.
Okay.
That part is important, so that way it's tracking it from the right date, so that your inventory comes out correctly.
Okay.
And then so we're gonna close out of that. So those are the common ones. Coca-Cola is really common. All of us get Coca-Cola, so you want to receive it in that way. The less common things are if you went out and got say you ran out of spinach or something to that effect, and you needed to go buy it from the store. That is a little bit of a special case. So you still want to tell OC that you did that, so that way it can track your. So that way it goes your usage in your product.
Yeah.
So to do that, you go into your invoices. You're going to go into new, just like we did for Coca-Cola.
So really the only thing for importing is U.S. Foods, right?
That's the only thing set up currently.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's any plans to do anything else, but currently it's just U.S. Foods. It does save you an immense amount of time. You don't have to price check it. You don't have to break it down.
Don't have to mess with the sales tax and the fuel charge and all that.
None of that. It takes about 3 minutes versus it usually takes somebody about 15 to 20 minutes to receive it, break it down, and price check it.
Yeah.
You do all of that. It does all of that for you.
That's awesome.
And so that part is where OC really shines, in my opinion. Saves a ton of time. So, but if we go to the store, buy some spinach, we come back, we do our payout in the register, and then we need to tell OC. So we're gonna go into our invoice. We're gonna come to the same place where we were with our Coca-Cola. See, Coca-Cola is there. Right above it is cash payout. So you're gonna click on cash payout. Oh, I missed. We're
gonna get some air gas instead, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. So we're gonna go to cash payout.
Make me talk funny.
And then there is again, it populates down the left some different things. So you can this list is pretty long. So you want to search for this one. So we're gonna click in the search bar. We're gonna type in SP. Spinach is gonna come up. We're gonna double click on spinach, and we're gonna tell it how much we bought. So if we bought a pound, we're going to type in 1. And then we're going to hit enter. And then over here, we're going to tell it how much we paid for it. So if we paid, say we paid $1.80. We paid $1.80 for it. So we're going to put that in there and hit enter. And then now it populates it for you.
Okay.
And then the only thing else you have to do is you have to put in your invoice number, and you can do this at a later date too. So say you went out, you went out and did this on a Tuesday. It was a pretty hectic day. You forgot about it. On Wednesday, you're coming in and you're doing your paperwork. You could catch this up on Wednesday. So you could change your date here as well, just like you can for your Coca-Cola.
Can you go back to prior weeks?
You can go back to prior weeks if you catch something that you forgot to do, and it'll adjust it for you. It'll plug it in and it'll adjust your food cost too, so you can for your inventory and everything. So those completed weeks, you can come back to it and make adjustments, and it'll.
Okay. So what if there's not an invoice number on your receipt?
And so there's not an invoice number on your receipt. You can put in however you want to keep track of it. Personally, when there's not an invoice number, I put the date. I will just put the date I bought it. So if I bought it on the 17th, I would just go 1/17 and 18.
Or in theory, you could write any number on the invoice.
You can indeed. You can indeed. I just like dates. I like to that way. It kind of keeps me organized a little bit. Yep. And you just put in the date without the slashes or dashes.
Okay.
And then you could like we did with Coca-Cola, you could go 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to as well. So you can and then just count up or however you want to do it. Just kind of keep it organized for yourself. And then you just want to, the last step before you hit save is you want to make sure because if we hit save, and that way you guys can see it. If you hit save and your totals don't match, so see this total and this total do not match right now. So if we hit save, it's going to yell at us.
Okay, and then our Incidentally, our 15-minute time limit is just about up, so we're going to sign off and come back with a little bit more information. All right?